this is a little bit of an aside. So what I've done is I brewed some things at home. This was inspired by another YouTube channel that I watch quite a bit of. The guy's name is Platt, R. It's Platt, and last name, I'm guessing abbreviation is just R. Anyway, he does homebrew and stuff like that all the time. So what I've done is tried to give Joseph here a taste for how truly terrible things could be, since he's fond of zeros up to now. Is this your first homemade experience?
Yes.
All right. You can see what we have in front of us. I don't know if you caught it before I set it down.
I saw a tea, a honey.
I bought some stuff from a store. I poured a little bit out. I put a cup of sugar in each one of these things. They were big jars, not these that I bottled. But threw some yeast on it and let it go for about a week. These are very green, means they are new.
This just in. An escaped toddler was found on the set of YouTube's popular show, The Banter Bar. Experts are claiming that if you listen closely to the next few seconds of this video, you can hear the well-known sound of a doorstop being clicked multiple times and with brute force. Viewer discretion is advised, as what you're about to hear could be disturbing.
So it's probably not going to taste good. The other thing is Platt tends to use an ale yeast, and what I used, because it was the only thing I had, was a champagne yeast, which means it burned through almost all the sugar in this shit. The honey is the only real exception. Everything else burned all the residual sugar out of it, so it's not going to be very sweet. Everything here is 10%, except for the wine, which got up, the grape juice, got up to 11%. And the honey, you can see it bubbling in the thing here.
Yeah.
Which, this was honey and water. It's half and half, honey and water. It's still going. It's still actively fermenting. It was at 19% when I bottled it.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering if this was your piss bottle.
No. I threw the piss cup away. So let's start out. We're just going to rate, no questions. So apple juice. Let's see what we got. This is actually cider, if you want to get technical about it. You're not going to hurt my feelings, by the way. This was meant as an experiment to really highlight what zeros could be, or maybe should be.
Gosh, that was like a liquor kind of.
Yeah,
that was almost a shot, dude. That's still burning.
Well, the thing is, the yeast in here, it just finished making the alcohol, so it hasn't had a chance to breathe much yet. So you are going to get that heavy hit of
alcohol
in this. I actually think it's good. I would give it a 5. Initially, all of these tasted like shit when they came out of the bottle. There's not a single thing here I'd want to drink, but it's a 5 for me. But I like a really dry cider, which is a non-sweet cider.
I'm going to go with a 2.
Okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings, by the way. Feelings, by the way. All right. So that's apple cider. Next up is coffee. This smells sweet.
Yeah,
it smells
really
like a
good.
Sweet cup of coffee.
I was going to say, it smells really good.
But wait for it.
Almost like a medicine. Yep, that's all I'm having that one too.
Yep. 3.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the same. Exactly. I think it was better than the last one, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's surprising.
It's mainly the after effect. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it's beginning to mellow out and the alcohol content isn't quite as noticeable. I can still taste the coffee bean actually, and it's a little pleasant. So next is honey. So do me a favor and don't drink too much of this. It's one, very high in alcohol content, and you won't notice probably, but two, if you could get really close up on it, you could see how much bubbling it's doing.
It's an active fermentation. There are yeast in there that are eating the sugars. That's what alcohol is. When yeast, the same thing you make bread with, eat sugar, they make alcohol.
So am I gonna die? Alright. Took me a minute to swallow that one, dude. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it.
Really?
Yeah, that was like...
Do tell why.
It felt like it was burning my mouth. But it's actually not... It's not that bad. I'm gonna go with... I'd rate that one out of 5.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm going to.
Yeah.
I think with a few more weeks, the alcohol, I think the max it could get is 21%. But even just from where it started, it's so much better than what it was. I've tried to make mead before, and that's what this is, essentially. It's honey and water that you make alcohol out of. And when they're dry and they have no sweetness, which is what has happened to me in the past, I hate it. This still tastes like honey, and that's pretty good. It's just a little too sweet right now. Next up is orange juice. Now again, if you go watch Platt's videos, he's been doing a series called Will It Ferment, where he takes random things from the grocery store and tries to see if he can make alcohol with it, sometimes by just putting sugar in it. He's using a lower alcohol concentration yeast. Basically, it can't eat too much of the sugar. So when you see him taste things and he says it tastes good, and we're not necessarily agreeing here, it's because I used a yeast that ate almost all the sweetness out of everything.
It looks like orange juice. It smells like orange juice.
Pulp free, by the way. This is tough, dude, because I know these aren't good. These are definitely not great.
Yeah, but they're not bad necessarily. Like, they're not like, ugh. These two were not bad. This one...
I was just trying to give you some time to
No,
come up with your rating.
I mean, I got 4.
Yeah, 4.
I'll say 4.
4 is exactly where I'm at, too. You want to grab the next one?
Yeah. This one is tea, which sounds delicious.
Oh, I was very excited about this. I got all this stuff from Kroger. This is their 100% apple juice. This is 100% grape juice. This was their clover honey. This is actually their decaffeinated coffee, their medium roast. This was somebody's orange juice. I'll give Katie a photo and she can show it to us. This was Milo's sweet tea. Smells decent.
Yeah, it doesn't smell bad.
If you like unsweet tea, this might be okay for you. It's still not all that good. I've never had Milo's tea
Me either.
before. I tasted it after, and it tasted okay, you know.
And I love, like, sweet tea.
Agreed.
You get bitch that all the time at my house if I make tea.
I'm going to give it another 4. It's gotten better. I would have initially said like a 2 or a 1.
I'll go with 3.
This was the biggest mistake that I made because letting this not be sweet enough to have some residual sugar does not work.
Yeah. Let's see. What's this one? Grape juice. Grape juice. Purple drink. Grape juice. Purple drink. Grape juice. Purple drink.
This is not my wine.
Grape juice. Purple drink. Grape juice. Purple drink. Grape juice. Purple drink.
By the way, if you've had my homemade wine, I
have not.
It's pretty much the same thing that this is, but I add the frozen concentrate bottle. I put about half of one of those in this as well.
It smells like cough syrup.
I've never had this experience, but this smells like grape jelly, which is something I'm always afraid of. Normally, my homemade wine comes out tasting like Lambrusco. If you've ever had that, the family likes to call it rape wine.
Try some rape wine.
That was not something that I came up with.
Mm-mm.
No?
Jeez, man. I'm gonna go 0. It's not really a bad taste, I guess. It was another one that was really hard to swallow.
I would actually say 6.
And I'm gonna go 0. You just rewrite it. I think what's happening here is I'm getting way too much of the alcohol taste. Like rubbing alcohol smells.
Yep.
That's what I'm tasting.
Yep.
There's just a hint of grape, a hint of apple.
But mostly what you're getting is the rubbing alcohol sort of thing.
And maybe it's because they haven't set long enough.
That's what it is.
That's
exactly what it is. And I'm kind of happy that you picked up on that.
That's why I don't want to I don't want to be like, oh, these are awful. These are so bad. Because I feel like if there was more flavor than the alcohol taste, they'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's just too much alcohol taste in them right now.
If you like Pinot Noir, I would not have said this a few days ago whenever I put them in these bottles to refrigerate, but this is actually pretty on par with a lot of Pinot Noirs that you can buy for about $6 or $7 at the store. It's not the wine I like to make, even though Pinot Noir is my favorite kind of wine, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, that's homemade stuff. If you have any thoughts, thank you for squeezing my caps on there really tightly. Don't want to let any of that rubbing alcohol smell out of the bottles. That's homemade stuff. If you've got any questions for me about how to make stuff at home yourself safely, let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to address them. And if you make it and it sucks and you just want to let Joseph know that it sucks, leave that in the comments as well and it will make him happy.
Yes, I won't be alone. But also, if someone wanted you to try to make something for us to try, like if they had a suggestion, you'd be down to do that too, right?
Yes. As long as I could find something that didn't have preservatives in it. Worth mentioning that this orange juice stuff is pretty... It's not the same as prison wine, but they do generally use orange juice because it's what they can get their hands on. And that early green flavor is what I imagine that moldy, funky prison wine tasted like. It's better now.
But you didn't make this in the toilet.
No, I made them in the bottles that they came in from the store.
I made this in my toilet.
Put airlocks on the top. If you start making stuff at home, easily one of the most addicting things ever is to make a bunch of bottles that are fermenting and just watch the bubbles on the airlocks go. You will turn off the TV to watch the bubbles.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I am a nerd, and we've established that. I like the way this experiment went. Let us know if you have any ideas for future episodes, future specials like this, and we will try to see to them. Once again, thank you for watching another episode of
The Banter Bar.
I'm Shane.
I'm Joseph.
See you next time.
Later. Got
gotta get up. I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.